Should have our war tomorrow when you're better rested. I should have you whipped for your impudence.
Perhaps you should fight him.
Achilles. Achilles.
Look at the men's faces. You can save hundreds of them.
This is how they get you amped up. Why don't you go fight that shit? You go do it. You go fight whatever dictator. Y'all want to have a dictator brawl? Somebody call Jake Paul, set up some celebrity boxing match, and y'all can fight bare knuckle, do whatever it is that y'all need to do to get it off your chest. Because the people, you see all these people lined up right here? These are the ones that are going to be destroyed. These are the ones whose lives are going to be forever destroyed. And the ones that do make it home, when they come home as veterans, they don't get any support.
Oh my God.
Saddam will be removed from power and the world will be a better place.
So, Bill, why don't you send your sons? Why don't you send yourself over there? Why don't you go over there and go fight it? Why don't you go remove Saddam? This is what these people on the news that just talk about war so casually because they're not the ones that are actually fighting it. You know what it reminds me of? Hold on. Let me bring up this. Let me see if I could bring up, y'all know what I'm about to bring up. Y'all know what I'm about to bring up. I'm about to bring up a movie scene. Somebody tell me what movie scene. I'm going to tell you what this reminds me of. Hold on. Is it up? All right. This reminds me of this scene. Hold on.
Of all the warlords loved by the gods, I hate him the most. Remember the name. The ruler of Thessaly.
Wait, hold on.
Save hundreds of.
Perhaps you should fight.
Perhaps you should have our war tomorrow when you're better rested. I should have you whipped for your impudence.
Perhaps you should fight him.
Achilles. Achilles.
Look at the men's faces. You can save hundreds of them.
This is how they get you amped up. Why don't you go fight that shit? You go do it. You go fight whatever dictator. Y'all want to have a dictator brawl? Somebody call Jake Paul, set up some celebrity boxing match, and y'all can fight bare knuckle, do whatever it is that y'all need to do to get it off your chest. Because the people, you see all these people lined up right here? These are the ones that are going to be destroyed. These are the ones whose lives are going to be forever destroyed. And the ones that do make it home, when they come home as veterans, they don't get any support. We don't have enough money to support them, but we got enough money to bring in all these illegal migrants and support them. Neither here nor there, right? These are the people who suffer in war. There's a reason why people in power are so quick to justify and get into war. It's because they're not the ones that are suffering from it. In most cases, they are the ones that are benefiting from it. The camaraderie of the country becomes stronger. The support of the leaders becomes stronger. There's more money being exchanged. We can feed our military industrial system, right? We can make money. That's why when politicians, you can see like a Nikki Haley and all these people, you wonder like, damn, how did they get so rich? When we're sending guns to other countries. First and foremost, want to give a huge shout out to everybody that continues to tap in with us, like and subscribe and join our community. If you haven't already, please make sure that you do. We look forward to engaging in some dope convo with you that can help us all elevate. So like, subscribe, and maybe even share the video if you're feeling real generous. On that note, we'll let you get back to the video. See you soon. You do realize that that's just us writing a check to ourselves. That's the United States of America. When we're sending all these guns, we're writing a check to American gun manufacturers and weapon manufacturers and lining the pockets of them. So therefore, we can then send off the weapons to a different country. So then when I'm done in politics, I go to that American gun manufacturer and they're hitting me off with big checks. Why? Because I just got them a deal, because I'm a sales rep for them.
You can end this war with a swing of your sword. Think how many songs.
Look at them. They trying to amp up America. This is Netanyahu talking to Trump. Trump, get involved. You could end this with one drop of that big bomb that you got. You could end it in one. You could save all these lives. You could save this. Yo!
Songs they'll sing in your honor. Let them go home to their wives.
There go Trump. Thought he was standing on this.
Imagine a king who fights his own battles. Wouldn't that be a sight?
Imagine a king that fights his own battles. Wouldn't that be a sight? This is what happens. Look at these fat, pathetic looking men who are sending these strong men, courageous men on the front line of the battles who got families at home. And now we're going to send them to die. But nah, America's going to pull up. So now Achilles, America, has to sacrifice or risk his life, right? Because even in case you didn't see Troy, even Achilles dies, the ultimate warrior. There's casualties that are going to happen. This is what I see happening. And what I wanted to say earlier is that I don't completely blame, or let me say this. I don't know if I was getting ready to say I don't completely blame Israel or Zionist. Definitely don't completely blame Israel, because there's a lot of people in Israel. Let's be clear. There's a lot of people in Israel that don't support what the Israeli government is doing. We're talking about this entire convo is about the Israeli government. There's a lot of people in Israel that do not support the things that Israel does. Just like with America, there's a lot of people in America, whether case in point, Muhammad Ali getting locked up in the prime of his career because he didn't support the war efforts of America. There's a lot of people in any country that do not support what their country's doing. So we have to accept that and understand that. We have to accept that. So I'm talking, and the reason why I was going to say is I don't place a lot of blame on them. You ever raise a child, or I've never raised a child, but I don't know. Some of y'all have had friends. Maybe some of y'all have kids. And let me hide this. You know how some kids can grow up so spoiled because their parents give them everything? This happens in this almost happens. This happens a lot in Montclair high school sports. We've talked about this before, where the athletes are treated and spoiled so much in Montclair, and then as soon as we go to college, everything hits the fan. And then that same great athlete that we thought was the best athlete in the world, we've been looking up to him our entire lives, he doesn't even make it a year in college because he can't handle the structure and the discipline that comes along with when you go to college. Everybody was the best kid on their team. Now you're just one of the players. You're not getting the special treatment. Now that player's to blame, absolutely. But what's also to blame is the coddling that has caused that player to develop that mindset. And what am I talking about when I say coddling? I'm talking about me, and I'm talking about you. I've told y'all plenty of times when I speak on these topics, when I mention Israel, when I mention the word Jew, when I mention Judaism, Jewish, something tightens up in my stomach. See, and that happens to a lot of us. And what ends up happening from that is they start to be coddled in a way where this whole way of, just the same way that I talk about black people being coddled and made the victim, the same thing has happened with them because we've enabled it. We've enabled it. I had a buddy of mine reach out. I told y'all the other day, buddy of mine reach out on Father's Day, talking about Happy Father's Day. Doesn't even, like, he should know that I'm not a father. But then he's writing a text saying, pray for all of Israel. And I'm like, bruh, like, what type of entitlement do you have to send a black American and I use the word black, I try to use air quotes with that because black, that's a different conversation. But just for conversational purposes, what makes you feel so confident that a black American is on your side? Because you only see it as one side. And that's what America and entitlement and our fear in a lot of ways has allowed you to feel. That's why. You're sending me then we were talking about it in the fam, because I sent the message to my family. I'm like, yo, this is kind of like the issue. Why? I mean, you can pray for whoever you want to pray for, but why are you passing that on to me? And it's almost like a low-key bullying tactic, that, not saying that he was using it, but other people I've seen use it, where it's like, you support Israel, right? Like, well, wait, what do you mean? I support Israel and I support Palestine. So what is do I have to pick or choose? Do I have to decide? Is it one or the other? Is it absolute? Because a lot of Israelis support Palestine. So what do you mean when you want me to say that I support Israel? You mean I support them in anything that they do, no matter what, and will never ever say anything bad about them? Nah, I don't support them in that way. And then they start throwing up the questions where, do you support Israel's right to exist? What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. That's like me when I look at any country. Do I support their right to exist? Well, I'm sorry, I'm a black American, and my people didn't come over on the transatlantic slave trade. A lot of my people, my family, I'm just talking to me specifically, you can believe whatever you want about your family, we were already here. So this land that we're living on was stolen, right? Technically speaking, right? Didn't Earn Your Leisure say that? We heard that earlier. So if we look at it like that, through that lens, and there's a lot of irony there, right? It's like I'm supposed to feel sympathetic and empathetic for your situation, but when's the last time are Jewish people giving up land for black people who had the land stolen from them? Or are they going into the black neighborhoods and knocking on doors and offering cash? I see more of that in the Hasidic communities, the Brooklyn community that I went to. Just being honest, right? But you're purchasing land that was stolen from me, from my people. Doesn't seem to add up. So this is why I say there's just a lot of elitism and entitlement across the board. And just like I call it out when it comes to black people playing the victim card, I'm going to keep the same energy. And a lot of y'all may say he's not keeping the same energy. And to be totally honest, I'm probably not. I'm probably harder on black people. And matter of fact, I would say that I am harder on black people because there's still a piece of coward. There's still some coward in me. Just being totally real with y'all. I want to protect my job. I want to protect my livelihood. I know who I work with. I know who has a lot of power in this country. I know who runs YouTube. Here I am trying to build a YouTube platform when I know the people that run you, hey, we're just being real. But if I don't say it, then not only am I being a bad friend to my Zionist friends, because I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example real quick, just to show y'all how much of a coward I've been in these situations. I told y'all before about my buddy, close friend of mine, and he actually went over. He's Israeli Jewish, lives in Miami, probably been the most helpful person to me in Miami. I love this dude. I'll be totally honest. Like before this situation happened, like that's my bro. That's still my bro. But you know what made me feel like our relationship wasn't as close as I thought it was? It's because I behaved like a coward in some ways the last time that we met, where I didn't express the things as strongly as I felt like I should have. I didn't bring up the right questions. And a lot of it was because this man is actively at war. But it's like, when do you tell somebody like you don't agree with certain things that are going on? Do you wait until after the war and say, hey, yeah, you know, I didn't really rock out with y'all doing that before, but well, why didn't you say it then? So we're supposed to get together in the next week or so. I'll keep y'all posted. But shame on me if I don't offer my perspective, my honest and genuine perspective. Because other than that, he's just going to move along thinking like, well, Dak, he agrees with it. He ain't have any pushback. When in all actuality, I'm sitting here just like, damn, like, he's telling me certain stuff and I'm saying, a word, like, okay, like I had no pushback. And not to say that you just push back to push back, but y'all know me, I push back. Especially if it's not something that I'm aligned with. And it wasn't something that I was aligned with. And I used the cowardly excuse in my mind to say, well, I don't know everything about it. I know enough. I know enough to look at what has happened to Palestine and to say that's not godly. And that doing this and justifying it under the name of God is not wrong. It's not right. I think I know enough about that. I can look at it and say, so they kidnapped 100 people and then their country turned into that. That doesn't really add up to me. And that's only if I'm looking at it as if everything started on October 7th. Everything did not start on October 7th. Have y'all heard? I just heard this this story. Let me actually, if you're gonna go in, go all the way in. Let me show y'all this story that I heard. And this is all just based on perspective. And I try to be a little bit balanced, but you can't be balanced with everything because everything's not always balanced. So this is Muhammad Ali. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.